Sarah, why are you crying?
Oh, I'm just rereading the story of Ruth. It's so beautiful. It gets me every time.
Girls, you cry so easily. It's just like any other story. Snow White, Cinderella, they just get married and live happily ever after. The end, that's it. Finish, finito, terminito, exterminito.
Ruth's story is so much different than that. You see, she lived purposefully ever after. God used Ruth and Boaz as part of his great plan for the world. You and I are different today because of Ruth and her purpose.
Hold on, I just now heard about the story of Ruth. How has she changed my life?
That's because you need to hear the end of Ruth's story. You see, God had a purpose and a destiny for Ruth before she was even born. Back when she met Naomi and her family in Moab, God was working out his purpose for Ruth by leading her to Israel. Even when things seemed difficult, God was in control. Ruth going back to Israel and meeting Boaz, that was all part of a plan. It was not by chance. All of these things happened so that Boaz and Ruth would get married. Not long after they were married, Ruth gave birth to a baby boy whom they named Obed. Now that may seem like the end of the story to you, but look down the road a few years. Obed grew up and had a son named Jesse. And then Jesse grew up and had a son named David. David would later become king of Israel. King David was the great-grandson of Ruth. God had used Ruth to be the mother of a family of kings who loved God. But that's not all. Many, many years later, from the family of King David came the most special baby of all, Jesus Christ, the Savior of the world. Ruth was the ancestor of Jesus Christ, and Jesus Christ brought salvation to everyone. That's why I can say our lives are different because of Ruth. She had a purpose inside of her that was bigger than even she understood.
That's beautiful. I never knew. Ruth is one of my favorite stories.
But the best part is that we're just like Ruth. God has a purpose and destiny inside of each and every one of us. And as we follow Jesus Christ, years from now, we'll look back and see how we were part of his great plan for the world.